welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a, not quite a Doctor Who video, but a Star Wars video, so hope you enjoy. Something different than just Doctor Who, hopefully. But yeah, bit of housekeeping and or channel update. Excuse me, by that in itself, by housekeeping, it's my own weird, quirky, weird way of saying channel update. And that I never actually used the terminology channel update, and I was thinking about it like either yesterday or the day before. So yeah, so in future reference, if you ever see me or hear me say even housekeeping, I'm gonna do some housekeeping in any of my videos, regardless of what it is. Basically, that's what I mean. It's a channel update. I'm giving you guys information before I'm fully doing the review of sorts or the video, like in this one. The thing that I'm going to be addressing before I get fully into the video is that, but by the way, the video is my thoughts on Star Wars The Clone Wars coming back. And yeah, that in itself kind of ties nicely in what I'm about to say, which is that it's excuse me, I can't even get the words out, San Diego Comic-Con time. And basically that means that there's trailers galore, like literally every other day, or every other hour or so, there's like a trailer being announced and dropped, from the Predator trailer to Doctor Who to Star Wars and everything in between, you know, Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, everything is coming out now. As a one-man team here, and all one person, just filming these videos in his bedroom, surprisingly enough, I can't cover all of this stuff, nor would I want to, so I'm only going to be covering stuff that I'm interested in, so stuff like Doctor Who, Star Wars, Invader Zim, definitely sort of a thing that spiked my interest, so things that I'm interested in both positively and or a bit negatively, but things that interest me. So if you comment below saying, oh, why haven't you done a video on, like, I don't know, the Series 9 or Season 9 trailer of Walking Dead, well, it's because I stopped watching Walking Dead quite a while back, sorry about that. If you're interested in that show, I mean, I'm fine with you being a fan of those things, and I wish I could be a fan of everything, really. I truly do wish that, but for the fact that it'd just be too much to deal with on the channel, really, and it's predominantly a Doctor Who related channel. So yeah, so these videos may take over quite a while, or for quite a bit of the channel, but don't worry for the main hardcore audience-y people, whoever you guys are. Hello. But basically, there's still going to be Doctor Who content either way, because the Comic-Con thing coincides with Doctor Who, obviously, being at San Diego Comic-Con, as well as the Star Wars stuff and Invader Zim and Venom and other Marvel stuff and DC stuff I might want to cover, and Titan, which was supposed to be, I think, Teen Titans, but boy does that look, well, not great, basically, to spoilers for that video if I do a video on that. But yeah, so my thoughts on Star Wars Clone Wars coming back. I am ecstatic, I love it. It gets 2 thumbs up from me, because basically a bit of a nostalgia trip really is what it is, you know. I'm probably letting that take the forefront of my feelings for this. I mean, the one thing that does piss me off and or cheese me off even is the fact that it's going to be on Disney's streaming site, which is annoying, because I know I would rather just obviously have it on Netflix or something more accessible, or do you know what I mean, on a streaming site and or service I already have, or just on Cartoon Network, like the OG original way it was done back in the day. And I say this as though I'm an old-timer. I mean, I just distinctly remember watching Season 1 up to 3, maybe even Season 4, I can't quite remember, it's quite a while back now. I mean, considering I've wrapped up at college of this recording, and I'm mentioning stuff about when I was back at school, sort of early school, sort of middling bit of school, you know. So this is quite a while back now. We're on about, as I say, quite some time ago now for me, or it feels like that anyway. So, you know, every time or every day or so, you know, after being bullied and sworn at and every other shit thrown at me, you know, and that at school, I just come home, and de-stress by watching Star Wars: The Clone Wars, Doctor Who, and Star Wars: The Clone Wars. What a time to be alive, you know. And that. But yeah, the trailer looks very cinematic, awesome by the way as well. I watched the panel sort of thing with Dave Filoni and the actors who play Anakin and Ahsoka and the guy who did the music, and then one of the producery people as well. So much like how I did watch the 2018 Comic-Con panel thing for Doctor Who, I did the same thing here, and watched the trailer both there in that panel video and as well just generally out and about in the internet, and that half a dozen bazillion times. Like, I've watched it quite a few times, but yeah, so I might not go over everything in this video, but sorry about that. But yeah, like, I'll try and recall it as much as possible. They divide it up very nicely into two sections of Clone Wars, Clone War stuff, and then more the Jedi and the other main characters in the latter end, you know, and that. But in between there's like this lovely bit of like a war unfinished, or a war left ... unfinished, and that, and it's like, you know, the hashtag save Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which was great as well, to make it feel as though we the fans brought it back, sort of thing. Wearing my Star Wars t-shirt today, rocking it out, rocking with the Star Wars fans, I guess. But either way, it's great. It's really good news. And at the beginning, there's like loads of like clones, helmets and that, and then it's like really sort of pulling back and that, and back and back and back, and then there's loads of cool stuff like my name's Rex, my name's Trooper 5555555.55555, but they call me Fives, you know, or I'm heavy, you know, because he has like the heavy, you know, artillery sort of gun thing, and then there's loads of like lasers shooting each other or across from each other, and then as it gets further and further, then they're like, you know, we got some shinies here, and just like, you know, like proper military, you know, dialogue and cool stuff like that. And then you see all the variations of like different clone helmets, you know, because even though these are clones, they actually have quite a lot of personality, which I guess is the main sort of hurdle for most people when you say, oh yeah, these films are about clones fighting droids. What? Like, you know, it sounds ridiculous, and as well, like, the clones don't have any personality, nor do the droids, but in this show they do, and that, and you know, you've got Rex, Cody, Commander Cody might be coming back. I hope he is, because he was a fucking amazing character. And I mean, I'll be honest, I never thought the show had actually ended, or, well, no, I knew it had ended, but I never thought it just abruptly ended. I always just thought it had fully been completed by season 5, I think, so this might be a 6th season. They're doing 12 episodes, and unfortunately, again, it's exclusive to Disney's paid online service sort of thing, streaming service, which I don't particularly like. But, I mean, business-wise it makes sense, but as a fan, I'd rather it be somewhere more accessible, of course, but that doesn't mean them then making money. It's a trade-off, though, isn't it, you know? You got to pay for the things that you like, I guess, and, yeah. And then, so when there's that, you know, war left, ... finished, or unfinished, there's a bit with, like, Anakin and Obi-Wan walking into, like, a spaceship corridor thing, and Obi-Wan's got, like, the long robes as well, and just looks like, literally, like a spitting image of Revenge of the Sith version of him, as well as Anakin, you know, with the really long hair, and that, and just the way they both look animation-wise like they look in the films, which is awesome. Another thing is that, like, this that set of the prequel films are the ones that I grew up with, so again, I always really liked Star Wars: The Clone Wars because it filled out that universe and that sort of core Star Wars that was my Star Wars, even though obviously back in the day, or as I was getting older, you know, and going on the internet, everyone and the mums was like, oh, well, that's shit Star Wars, you're a fucking idiot for liking it, and it's like, okay, I won't be a Star Wars fan then. Whereas I am trying to embrace being a fan of Star Wars, even if, you know, I'm going to get lots of hate for liking Last Jedi, or this, or whatever else, I don't know. But, you know, at the end of the day, we like the things that are fun for us, and I don't know, we should just accept other people's opinions, I think, but, or try to anyway, as much as possible, or respect other people's opinions. But, yeah, and then Ahsoka is in like the hologram thing in the spaceship, and it's like, yeah, because Anakin asks like, "Why did you bring us here, Rex? What's so important?" And then I think like Rex is like hologram as well, and then he stood right next to Ahsoka, and that in the hologram thing, and she turns around and she's like, "It's been a long time, hasn't it, Master?" And because I distinctly remember her leaving the Jedi Temple and the Jedi Order, you know, end of like, again, maybe season 3 or 4. I can't quite remember. My memory's not quite what it used to be, clearly, but but either way, like, that was very emotional, very impactful music, and just, it was just shot really well and animated so well, and it was very gut-wrenching to see her leave, and see her back in Rebels was insane as well. I do like Rebels, but I'm not as interested in that time period, I guess, because it's sort of just before sort of A New Hope, and I guess Rogue One is like that, I guess, and I guess the films are obviously like that, but with all the prequel films are like that, but with the Clone Wars fleshing out a lot more stuff. I mean, I think the thing is, like, the difference being that obviously the original 4, 5 and 6 films are good, so it's like, why do you need fleshing out spin-offy stuff when everything was fine and really interconnected and in place from the offset, you know, from episodes 4 through to 5 and 6, you know. Whereas with the Clone Wars, you do need that part of the mythology, you do need that, not retooling, but definitely reimagining and sort of being fleshed out, definitely, because the films just didn't do what they were meant to do. There were so many different ideas and concepts that just didn't hit the mark, and I'm ecstatic that it's coming back, the Clone Wars, so it can be fully finished and fully utilising the talent of the studio that did Clone Wars, the animation, and Dave Filoni is just a master of Star Wars mythology and stuff, and I mean, he's practically, you know, like Luke Skywalker, he's practically, you know, been training under, you know, the grandfather of Star Wars and or Yoda of Star Wars of you know, George Lucas and whatnot, which is a bit of a bold statement, I guess, on my part, but yeah, to say that, but yeah, I mean, nostalgia, emotionalness with this, I'm just ecstatic that it's coming back, and that it's only 12 stories, but I mean, that's better than no, and I mean, if it wraps up everything and they tell really cool, different, interesting stories, if it still is not dark, but as mature and intense as it was, or as it used to be, then that'll be great, because I think that was another criticism a lot of people clearly had with Rebels, but I mean, comment below if you want me to, like, do a video on my thoughts on the first season of Rebels, because I have the DVD down there. And that, but yeah, I mean, this is just great news, really, isn't it, for anyone who's any bit the fan of Star Wars, or the prequels, or Star Wars The Clone Wars, so yeah, great news. So yeah, please do comment, rate, and subscribe.